G'day folks, Alex McKellar here again. We are doing another top split racing replay. This time we're going to do the Ozicar event from this week. Interestingly, it was at Knockhill, which of course is the official track for next week. And this week, this race or this event, we had the chance to do a couple of races here. First one's here, it's a sprint race, and the second was the feature. So we had a bit of a dud quali. I put it in the wall actually here and only qualified 11th, which was a shame. Means I had some hard work, and because the race results here carry over to the grid for the feature, we had our work ahead of us to try and make something of the night overall. But you see, my teammate Alex John put it on pole. He's won this series 3 times, and he's in a really rich vein of form. He's just ahead of Cameron Dance, one of ANZ's really high quality drivers. Put him in anything and he's pretty quick. Darren Tune, who's second season this time I think, and Ozicar and doing pretty well actually, good pace. Ben Snell, perennial contender for Team Milo, of course. Sean Skoltz, another Team Milo driver. Great to see him back in the series. Russell Clark, the third. Boss man of Team Milo, he's put it in 6. Brody Cook, a new Team Milo. So you got 4 of the green Team Milo cars there, 4th through 7th. Brody's the Milo Junior, the Otis driver. Neil Gardner, another one who started last season. He's got some good pace and good smarts to race with. Sean Doyle, another Aussie car regular in 9th. Vasco Sorosky for Team Clouds. You would have seen him in SNL races. Nice and quick, his first race in Aussie car. Myself in P11, Tim Harris in 12th. Made up the top 12 on the grid. There was quite a big field, as you can see in this one, all the way down to 26. But so the idea here was we wanted to get forward through the field if we could. Pace was pretty even here. It's a short track and a lot of fun. I thought this was a good one to look at because you know, it's a new track for everyone, and we're not really sure how it races and all the rest of it. So sit back and enjoy this one as we talk through it. 15 lap heat race leading into the feature, which will be 30 laps. So we're just behind Vasco. I love racing with Vasco. He's a good fella for Team Clowns. Of course, he's probably a bit nervous. His first night out in a new league, whereas so many of us in this league have raced together for a few seasons now. Checked up a bit there. I was very cautious through there. You got to watch the check up in front, but you're hoping the people behind you do the same. Fascinating run there through the chicane there. You've got to ride the curbs very hard. It's you know, gets you thinking about setups here. Soften or lift the front suspension up a bit, lowering the SPO. Vasco immediately looking to make a move up the inside on cold tyres. I was going to follow him and then thought better of it. That's why I moved to the right hand side, also a little bit defensive from Harris behind. So the interesting thing about these sprint races is you've got to have a balance of patience to let the race unfold, but urgency at the same time, because it's half the length of the it's only a 15-minute race, half the length of the feature race, so shorter than an official, but by the same token you can't afford to lose patience as well, particularly on a track like this. Lucky to see 5th gear once or twice depending on draft. As you can see, even up the back straight, you're not really looking to grab 5th. As I move over to move up the inside of Vasco, he left the door open there. Final corner here is quite interesting. You can take multiple lines focusing on entry or exit. Because you don't get up to 5th gear very often here, sometimes you will, but it's really stretching the friendship. You don't really need to. You don't get the full effect of that draft to come back, so exit speed is important. but perhaps not as important as other places. And Vasco and I side by side through the opening section, and then he made a mistake on the outside. It's only lap 3, cold tyres, and Vasco's out of it, at least for this one. Bit of a shame. I had a look at the replay. There was good room given by both of us. Just an unfortunate coming unstuck for Vasco. Regardless, we're at one spot. We're looking to move forward. We've got Sean Doyle ahead of us, as well as Gardner. Sean likes a good battle, as does Mr. Gardner. Neil, he battles well. He's got good pace, just hasn't translated into results as yet in Ozicar. He's only done the one season so far, 12 races. Looking to compromise turn 2 to get a good shot here at turn 3. Trying to open up turn 3. It's a very interesting corner. You've got to get the balance right between braking in a straight line and trailing off the brake to get the rotation as you open it up. It's a really fun corner. You really feel like the rear is on the edge of grip when you get it right. As I said on the night too, it was fascinating to see how the lines evolved as the racing went on, because people were finding out what worked for them in different situations at a new track and a new, quite, challenging layout too. Neil going on the defensive to Sean. At this stage, I mean, I'm holding no illusions of winning the race. AJ's already out to 5.5 seconds from us here in this pack. I just need to move forward to get a good grid position and see what I can make of the race meet overall on the night across the 2 races. But again, I'm trying to remain patient. Lap 5, so we'll be a third of the way through the race after this. The other interesting thing about this series is if you go through a race without picking up any incident points, you get 2 bonus championship points. So I had that in my mind here too. So with the top 5 each scoring a gap of 2 points per position, and then everyone else 1 point. If you get a 0x race with 2 bonus points, it's like you finished 2 positions further up the order if you're outside the top 5, which we are at the moment. Now, got a good run on Sean here. Have a look up the inside. One of the rare occasions we grabbed 5th gear there. Sean facilitated that, backed out a little bit on the apex of 1 on the outside, and that allowed us to get through. Now we get to see the back of Neil in P8. So now we're up 2 positions after 5 laps, and we're inside the top 10. So Neil and I seem to be fairly close on pace. I felt like I had, despite my poor qualifying, just maybe a fraction of an edge on him overall. And with draft, I was hoping to bridge this gap and have a crack. In front of him we got Brody Cook, the young Team Milo driver as well, who's having a good race. Got good pace, Brody. He's just, needs to get that one mistake out of his race that costs him, as is so often the case with folks that are new to iRacing. I know it was for me. When I focused on just cutting that one mistake that led you to a spin or an off or something that really spoils your results, when I got that under control, my racing really started to come along. Certainly my results did. So just comes with time as you get used to the cars. So we caught up about 3/10 I think on that lap to Neil with the draft there, and we've managed to almost break the draft with Sean behind us. So we started lap 8, we're into about half race distance now in this sprint race. So I like to compromise turn 2 there to open up here. You can really cut a lot at turn 2 without picking up an incident point. As at this stage I'm still 0x in this race, hunting my bonus points. But at the moment, we haven't really made a dent on Neil this lap, and he's now coming into Brody's draft after Brody made a bit of a mistake you might have seen off in the foreground. So Neil's well and truly in Brody's draft now. And we're still a couple of seconds off P6, Mr. Skoltz. So there's a chance that we could get on and, you know, see where we go from there. He's not too far ahead of Brody. This is such, there's so many cresting blind apexes on this course. The elevation changes, the rapid elevation changes are a really strong characteristic of this track. It'll be interesting to see how it races in the officials. Now we've got a good run on Neil here. He's taking the defensive line. I thought about going inside, then went deep on brakes around the outside. You can see he went deeper through the mid stage of the corner, but I was really trying to set up the exit there, and you see I got a good run. So I look to make the move on the inside, so I lift off a bit early and I came down. I backed right out of it. There's been an incident here between Snell and Dance. Had a look, and you can see Ben there off to the right in the Milo car. He was waiting for Dance to redress. So I picked up two freebies there, Cameron and Ben. Had a look at that one in the replay afterwards, and yeah, unfortunately the crest on the apex of turn 1 caught Ben out, and the rear of his car stepped out and collected Cameron. No race end, or no significant or race ending damage for either of them, so they were able to continue, which was good, but unfortunate for them. But that means 2 free spots for me, and I'm up 4 from the start of the race into P7. But that's sort of, we had to abort that attack on Neil. Better to lift and live to fight another day than to hammer it through an incident like that and become part of it. Had to lift a bit there. I think Brody was a bit gun shy through that chicane. The Arnold Clark chicane. Was this track in Scotland? I think it's the only Scottish track on iRacing as far as I'm aware. Oh, I had a look, and then Neil beat me to it. I tried to follow him underneath. You can see Brody locked up in the braking zone. I didn't quite get the run though. Something I'm working on is trying to get that cutback, that over under. You see Brody got a really good drive out despite the lock up on entry, and he's side by side with Neil through turn 1. See how Neil stepped out to the outside, and you can see the rear of his car lose. I think that to a greater degree is what happened with Ben and Cameron. Ben on the inside, but they were side by side, and so the rear of Ben's car collected Cameron, unfortunately. So Neil's made it through. If I want to have a crack at Neil, I really need to get a wriggle on, but you can see in the background as well, Cameron's caught back up. He's done well while we've been battling, so I go deep under brakes on the inside because I'm just as worried about getting attacked by Cameron as I am trying to get past Brody or Neil in front of me. Now Cameron's right on my bumper here, right close. You can see within a tenth or a tenth there and thereabouts. So I have Brody on my left here as well, who backs out. But I didn't want Cameron coming up the inside of turn 1. So job done on Brody, and then I see he and Cameron behind side by side through the next corner, which gave me a chance to just get Cameron off my tail for a little bit. But it also means I'm on the very edge of draft with Neil in front. That's another position down, so we're up 5 and into P6. With 3 laps to go when we cross the line this time round. Or beg your pardon, 2 laps to go. So I haven't got long to catch Neil, and really at 9/10 you get a smidge of draft, but you need to actually, with 2 laps to go, had a bit of pace to make anything of it. So we caught him about a 10th through the final sector, and you can see we've got about 6/10 on Cameron behind us. So it's eyes forward at this point. Crest turn 1, cut turn 2, open up turn 3, see the rear of the car rotate. Clipped a bit too much of the apex there for my liking. Commit hard through here, bang. You can see how much you can cut of that apex of the second part of that chicane. Try and open up the uphill Clark's corner. And then get a run. You can see we've caught maybe half a second this lap on Gardner in front. Get a good run out here. White flags out this time round. Want to have a crack at him. By the same token, we've got a hard charging Cameron Dance behind us as well. There was no shot there, so it really leaves me the final attacking opportunity into the braking zone of the final corner. See how Neil's taking that narrow entry there? I think it costs him a bit. You can see I feel like even though I clipped too much of that curb through turn 3, you know, it was better for me. Cameron right doing everything behind us. You can see him trying very hard to get back through. He knows this is his final opportunity. This is essentially the qualifying run for the second race. There are points on offer here, of course. Neil takes a defensive line. I'm really trying to leave Cameron nowhere to go here. Too wide. It's not a very wide circuit there. 3 doesn't quite work. Looking to get the drive. We haven't got Neil, but can we hold off Dance? The short run to the line right here. Beautiful. Well, there you have it. That was 15 lap sprint race. We finished up P6, up 5 spots, which was pretty good, all things considered, on this layout. It's a tough one to pass on. You can see you got to work hard. Turn 1's sketchy as. The best passing opportunities at the end of that back straight, and even then it's hard. You got to really focus on your entrance and your exit and the line you take through there, depending on what's presented to you. So yeah, up 6 positions, up 5 positions into P6, I should say, and pretty pleased with the result. So hang on, just pause there. Yeah, so pretty pleased with the result. All told, tough track to pass on, as we said, and yeah, looking forward to the second one. So that might do us here. We'll do the feature race as a separate one. Keep them discreet. But until then, I'm Alex McKellar. Thanks for tuning in. Check us out on Top Split TV on a Sunday night, on Twitch, where we cover the ANZ Strength of Field race each and every week, but it's the biggest skippy race in town. Top Split TV on Twitch, 9:15 PM Australian Eastern Daylight Time, GMT plus 11, of course. Otherwise, the Top Split on YouTube, which is where you find this and all our other videos. All right, folks, thanks for watching, and until next time, ciao for now.